Good afternoon. We started this morning or this afternoon. My name is Dale Vande Hey, and I am a Regional State Liaison for the Department of Defense. And I work 5 states. There are 10 of me around the country in an attempt for DOD to help the states on issues such as this in certain confined areas, whether it be education, employment of military spouses, the payday lending piece, to provide information to policymakers such as yourself, and thank you for the invite to speak to you today. The purpose of our effort in the DOD is to be a resource to state policymakers as they address quality of life issues such as this that impact not only the military member but also the families. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to explain to you the Department's continuing effort to limit the terms of consumer credit extended to service members and their dependents. To summarize my remarks, since I don't have a lot of time, is essentially one of 2 years ago, through federal legislation, there was a cap put on the percent that states could provide through payday loans and car title loans and also tax refund anticipation loans because these offices, these storefronts, as we've talked about today, were conveniently located outside military installations. There are certain provisions that it takes in the regulation that a military member has. These loans have to be secured by a check or a bank account, which military members have. They have to be closed-end, not opened-end like a credit card. They have to be less than 91 days and then no more than $2,000. So the DOD recognized the need to work this issue. The problem is in Texas, it can't be worked because the credit service organizations are not regulated within the state of Texas. So the value of 254 is the fact that it would put the CSOs in that light so that there is a oversight. When we look at it, other states, 31 states have regulatory guidance over these particular types of loans, and we're asking that Texas fall in that category.
All right,
thank you very much. Any questions?
Senator Estes.
Please.
Okay, right now it's against federal law to charge exorbitant rates to military people, right?
Correct.
Okay. So
when you go into one of these places, you're supposed to identify yourself. You're supposed to be asked if you're a military member.
Right.
And you are supposed to be limited on the amount of fees.
Right.
But if you're a credit service organization, you do not fall under that parameter.
Right. Okay, so then does the federal government have, let's say, around Fort Hood or something, who's the regulatory arm of the federal government that brings charges against these people?
When this was put together, the Department of Defense realized that it had to be up to the states to regulate this particular business.
So there's no federal authority, FBI, U.S. Marshals, no one can come in here and say to a payday lender.
For the tax refund anticipation loans, it's a federal issue.
Right.
For the car title loans and the payday loans, it's up to the state regulators to have oversight on what's going on, and if there are issues and problems, they're the ones that do the investigation. Of our 50 states, we have 31 states that can do that today. Texas could not because of the way this is designed under the Credit Service Organization business model.
How many states?
31.
31, good. So basically what you're telling me, if someone is breaking federal law in Texas, the federal government has no way to go after them?
No, the state is not in a position to monitor it for the state, for the federal government, and the federal government is not going out there trying to monitor the state regulatory rules. Correct. And so the federal government is relying on the states to get this under control. Yes, sir. Okay.
Senator Jackson, did you have a question? No, sir. Okay. Over here, questions? All right, sir. Thank you, Mr. Vande Hey. Appreciate you making the time to be with us today.
Thank you very much.